What is going on, guys? Welcome to the video, and I'm extremely excited today to share Noah's transformation and exactly how I helped him from being able to barely dunk to almost hit his head on the rim in only 16 weeks. So, without any further ado, let's dive straight into this transformation. Now, I'm going to show you guys this video. This is the end product of where we eventually got. Not bad at all, right? So, let's dive straight into how we actually make this happen. So, first of all, a little bit of background about Noah. Noah is a 5'10 guard from England with great athleticism. This guy came to me as a pretty good athlete. He was 5'10, had a good base, good foundation, also a good level of training behind him already. But he wanted to level up in his actual basketball career. He wanted to go to a better league, play at a better level. And in order to do so, as a 5'10 guard, great athleticism will only get you so far. So, what he wanted to do was actually level up and take his athleticism from great to elite. That was the entire goal. Become a better athlete on the basketball court. Okay. So here's where we started. This was our starting point. Again, for 5'10 guard, pretty good. Dunking decently easy, but not enough in order to be an elite level athlete, elite level basketball player. And that's what he knew. So we want to double down on his athleticism and level it up so he could actually play at higher levels. Okay. Now, the main thing with Noah was that he already came with a pretty good strength foundation, but it wasn't at the elite level yet. I immediately saw that he was lacking some strength, and if we could turn this already good strength into elite strength, and then eventually turn this elite strength into usable power, explosiveness, speed, vertical jump on the basketball court, then that would be where the secret sauce was. So here's some clips from Noah actually training, doing some parts of the training program. Like you see, just really basic strength foundations, but we do that at a very elite level. Like we got him really, really strong, and then we transferred it to the actual basketball court. Okay, so that was the main idea, the main priority. But his entire transformation consists out of three main pillars. Okay, the first one was obviously the training one, right? The one on the left corner. He had a customized app. Every single week, we progressed his workouts. He had videos. He had descriptions. We tracked all his sets, reps, weights, as you can see in the graphs, so we could actually keep track of his progression, see if what we're doing was actually working. So all of that was in the training app that was for Noah. Secondly, up here on the right, we had his recovery. Noah was using a Whoop band, a Whoop tracker, to track his sleep, his recovery, and all his habits, and how it influenced his actual performance. And this was really important because I didn't tell you yet, Noah was also in season, right? He was having games, he was having practices, he was having shoot arounds. So there was a lot of workload that we had to keep in mind and that we had to work around. So his recovery was really, really important. And because we're tracking everything, we could actually, after a while, start customizing his training based on his recovery. For example, if I saw that certain exercises or certain workouts had a bigger impact on his recovery, then we could change things around, right? And because we were measuring everything, there was no guessing. There was no guessing. It was all calculated customization towards Noah's ultimate goal of becoming a better athlete. So everything we did had the ultimate goal in mind, and all these tools just helped us to get there, right? And lastly, we had a habit tracker. Consistency was extremely important. So in order to train better and recover better, we had to dial in his nutrition, hydration, his snacks, his recovery, sleep, everything had to be dialed in. So we also dialed in on habits, consistency, mentorship to make sure that not only his recovery and his training and his nutrition was in check, but also his mental state, right? So consistency, habit tracking was also a big part of his transformation. So at the end of the day, like I said, Noah didn't want to just dunk easier. He wanted to become more athletic as a basketball player so he could start defending bigger guards, blow past defenders, and shoot over taller guys, which was ultimate the goal, right? He wanted to become a better basketball player at a higher level. So it wasn't just about dunking, right? Dunking was just a byproduct of what he actually wanted to achieve. So here are a couple of messages that I actually got from Noah that I want to share with you guys. So after 2 weeks, I asked Noah, I said, hey, how you feeling 2 weeks in? He said, stronger. And honestly, the best part is that I don't feel too fatigued, which is pretty crazy for a guy that was in season and doing something completely new on top of what he was already doing, right? So that means that our recovery was pretty checked in. Secondly, He's talking about his athleticism is going crazy. He said, I never jumped this high before. From a 5'10 guard who was dunking pretty easy and dunking with two hands, right? So pretty cool stuff. And then lastly, this is something that he used to tell me on the calls a lot as well. He said, I feel like a kangaroo now in the gym. And what he actually means by that is that he feels really springy, he feels elastic, he feels light on his feet. And that's the exact feeling that we want to chase as a basketball player. We want to feel quick, we want to feel agile, we want to feel like we can just jump very smoothly and fluid and easy. And that's exactly the feeling that he unlocked after a couple weeks, a couple months of training. So, in the end, this was one of our results, right? Pretty sick if you think about a 5'10 guy jumping and being just a couple inches away from hitting his head on the basketball rim, right? Especially considering if you we can scroll back to kind of see where he came from. This was where he started, right? This is where he started. This is where he ended. It's just insane progress. Insane progress. But most importantly, like I said, he didn't just become more bouncy. He didn't just start jumping higher. He actually leveled up his game. He started finishing better at the rim. He started taking more rebounds, and he started struggling less with full court pressure, which was something that was holding him back on the basketball court as a 5'10 point guard. And because we increased his first step quickness, his agility, his speed, he was struggling way less with these things. And what is even cooler is that Noah was able, thanks to all of this and thanks to the season that he was able to level up in leagues. He went from the second league in England, from the third league in England to the second league, thanks to these results, which is pretty damn awesome. Okay. Lastly, if you are just like Noah and you also feel stuck, you feel like athleticism is holding you back, and you're ready to actually take your game to a next level, then DM me athlete on Instagram and I'll show you exactly how we can implement a high level strategy for you so that we can take your game to the next level. I'll see you guys in the next video.